is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same about you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. into my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family. Just thank you for all the love and support. Y'all been getting emotional listening to these beautiful songs and stuff. I'm like, girl, man up, man up. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste. Love and blessings, a love and light, and many blessings are definitely. Hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when your girl's about to upload her next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback, the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards positive direction. And if you think the videos are very informative, give you good vibes, or a good uplift that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath, they're going through trying times at the moment, um, and need spiritual guidance, or just needing confirmation or validation towards life path, or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give me a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It is so appreciated on so many levels. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the music that I'm listening to in the background, you turn it up a little bit more so y'all can be able to still hear it, but not wanting it to drown me out. Okay. It's called Frequency, Relaxing Frequency, for stress relief. Cleanse your body naturally. 444 hertz, 40 hertz, and 4 hertz. That's a lot of fours. And the video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, you reflect the power of nothing. And that made the beauty of everything. It was like when I was doing the script on the last video, and I go deep into it and just, allow my higher self to get to typing. And, like you can really say something, how you just really look at your life and, appreciate everything that's taking place in your life. And how if you really had like kind of like a emotional and mental abuse exposed to, where people just broke you down, mess with your play with your intelligence, put you down emotionally, mentally, spiritually, try to break you any kind of way, um and they told you would never amount to anything. And people don't realize that that's actually a compliment. Even if somebody calls you a freak, I always feel like you should never get offended by those two words, nothing and freak. Because number one, when you're a freak, that means that they ain't ran on somebody like you. So you're like very, very limited. You are very, very, very limited towards um limited edition, basically what I was saying. And you know, uh, being nothing, that means you can't be labeled as an exact, something labeled, because Heyokas don't like being labeled towards anything. We don't like being categorized in one thing, because we keep evolving. You keep evolving, you learn more, and all those things. And I remember my mom never told me that. She always used to tell me, anything you put your mind to, you can do it. But it would be, now with her ex-husband, that was totally opposite. If I ever, emulated anything, like I love playing instruments. Just like when I was 4 years old, I started playing the organ. I had my own drum set. I had my own guitar. And then just being able to tell my dad I was doing those things, and then singing some of the songs. He thought it was really funny, because him and my mom's ex-husband bumped heads. It's like my mom's husband could not stand my daddy. They would constantly get into it. But it was always something that somebody always told me, you will never amount to anything. Look at the life you live. You want to be just like your damn dad or your mom. Because my mom had me at 16. And he would constantly put down my dad and my mom. And it's just like my dad ended up being the most influential icon. And I was like, I always was very proud of him. So it was just like, there are certain times it's just like I feel like singing, or certain songs will come to me. The universe speaks to you in many ways. They send signs to you in many ways. And I was listening. I remember I said this song, talked about this song a few times. It's called "Piece by Piece" by Kelly Clarkson. And I was just singing this to him, and it was like the tears flowed, because I tell the universe I'm so grateful So grateful, even though I never had that chance to be on the stage with my dad. I always told him, it was like, oh, I want to meet Prince and all that stuff. And when we were talking, he could never tell me who his true identity is. Even though he's like, I know you want to ask me something. It's like they told, my mom said the only way you can talk to her is not tell her. Let us tell her, you know, about her being adopted. But I already knew. At 4 years old, I was like, Mom, I died. I had a twin brother named Skipper. We looked just alike, except I was dark and he was light. And I died, and then I came back. My mom was like, "Who the hell is this girl? Is 4 years old talking about reincarnation, reincarnate." And I used to tell my mom that, and she already knew from that day. And I told her that because anytime I talked to my Uncle Rogers, um, he was always that close family friend that has known me since I was little. They worked closely with Prince, and that's all I could be able to know. And it was just like, my mom would only be around, and it was like when I know that, it was tension being held, I always used to stay with my mom. It was just me and my mom. And I used to say, you know, um, Mom, why every time I talk to Uncle Rogers, I always have this vision of, Prince? Why do I always see that? And it was just like before I remember the face in my visions, but then when the For You and the With You albums, my mom claimed that he dedicate those in remembrance of me, um, was sent to me. I didn't know, now mind you, I didn't know what my dad looked like at the time, but anytime that he would come on TV, when everything started, getting big and everything like that, I used to cry like so hard when I first got the album. And she was like, "This is for you." And I'm like, "Mom, this is my dream daddy. Mom, this is my dream daddy." And she's like, "Shh, don't be saying that. We ain't trying to get into no argument with your daggone daddy today." But it was like growing up, he always used to tell me, "You ain't gonna amount to nothing." As soon as I said that, my phone daggone, amount to nothing. I used to live recklessly. I was constantly in the juvenile system, constantly having a probation officer as a juvenile. I used to stick myself in very dangerous situations to where I could have been killed. You know, I've gotten into some major trouble. I really don't go into depth about the things that I used to do as a child because it's not something I'm very proud of. But I lived life like when I found out the way I found out I was adopted. I knew since I was 4 years old. When I said something about it when I was like 7 or 8, I got beat in front of all my friends. Um, my mom's husband, she begged him to stop hitting me. And he would hit me like I was a guy. At 7 years old, I couldn't sit on my butt for like almost a week because I had bruises and my butt was swollen. So it was like he felt embarrassed. So he wanted to embarrass me in front of my next door neighbors and beat me because I was telling the truth about me being adopted. And it was like I felt very betrayed because the way I found out about it is like if your parents are in the military, you always have to, if you go to different places, you have to get your military records and go to another place because I was in the Midwest and I came back down here in the South in Georgia when I was like 13, 14 years old. Um, and then I was looking through my records. I was like, yeah, I remember this because, it's like I was in the hospital for like impetigo, whooping cough. And like back in the 70s, those are things that you can really seriously die from. Even still to this day with everything that's going on. That's when I said I knocked on devil's door, death's door. There was a lot of times I went through there and it was just like, it was a blessing that my dad will always, appear there, always be my knight in shining armor, my superhero, and basically save me, um so it was just like, I was on my way because I was really cutting up, really acting up because I blamed my mom for my at that time I called him my dad leaving, you know and I used to always ask him, when you divorce my mom, are you going to divorce me too? And he's like, oh, no, no, no. And yeah, ended up divorcing me too. um, and it was just like things were all good and dandy when we were living all in the same, city and stuff like that. But when they moved, that's when, his wife got the courage to want to get balls. Because any other time, her and my mom, she was terrified of my mom. But until she moved out of the state, then she thought shit wouldn't stay. But they used to always crack jokes about me. You used to constantly, have her friends' daughters and kids come back and say, "Ha ha, we know who your daddy is. They don't care about you, and you're just a trust fund kid." And I had to live through that. you know. And then I remember reading my records, my military records, going through it. The next day when it hit me, when I seen the whooping cough and impetigo, um, that was very, I stayed in the hospital almost like close to 3 or 4 months, to where, it was very bad. It said adopted patient, didn't know past history. And I mean, that hit me in the gut worse than anything. I said, that's not a way a child should find out. And my mom was like, I said, Mom, am I adopted? And she was like, no. And it's just the way she said that. I like the way she answered that. And then, when I finally had the nerve, the courage to ask again, when I was living with, her ex-husband and his wife, and I asked her son, I'm like, hey, it was on my birthday. It was like, hey, and it was like, why are you crying so much? And I said, I don't feel belong. I don't feel like, I belong here. I stick out like a sore thumb. And then he was like, what's wrong? I said, am I adopted? And he was like, you need to ask your daddy that. And I just didn't like that. Like, how are you going to know about my life before that? And it was just like on and on and on. It got really bad. Um, and it was just like, the way I lived my life, I just didn't care. I was like, I just didn't care. I would put myself in situations where the way I would look for love, it was in really bad situations. Like, I would put myself in bad situations just to have a connection. And I just felt like, if I'm gonna die like this. I didn't care. I felt like I wasn't loved. And they always told me I would never be nothing. And they continued to try to break me down like that. And it got worse after my mom passed away. So it's just like all these things just came about in my life, you know, and it's not even like reminiscing about pain, but it's just all about evolution to me, all about how I evolved myself through the transition of trauma, extreme trauma, because it's just like something I've gone through. And not to say that other people's stuff is not severe, but being able to know somebody was sleeping well, knowing they were taking money from a parent that never seen his child, and you made every kind of way to make sure you severed that, but you wanted to hold me as a pawn to get money for you to live comfortable. Y'all had a comfortable lifestyle while I struggled. I had to wear clothes that were secondhand, or you would buy me something that it would break. But his wife walking around here in Louis Vuittons and Giuseppe's and anything that was highly expensive. She had it, but I was like the knockoff. I had to get things that was like from Payless and stuff like that, while she was running around, living good off my trust fund money, her and her children, while I suffered. And going through all those different things in my life, it made me evolve myself into everything that they never thought I could be, you know. And it allowed me to see that I was paying for something because I emulated. Even when I sang, I used to get hit. Like my dad, when he made the song Computer Blue, it was about, him losing me, trying to find out where it was and where I was in life. And it was just like, where's my baby? Where is it going? It just like, I remember talking to people close to him. I said, you remember when y'all were in the movie, it went straight from the first verse and y'all went to pop a song after that. It was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then it was like, you remember on the record, it was like 13 minutes long. Y'all had the longer version in the record. And it's like, where's my baby? Where's it gone? I said, that wasn't about a girlfriend. That was about him losing his child, and the connection was gone. And he was like, you know what? The more you say about it, is, the more the things you tell me is crazy, but it makes perfect sense. And there was a lot of things that, he said outright, because a lot of people didn't think he had a child. But I said, if you listen to it on certain songs, I say, even back in his For You album, he made the song Baby about him and my mom. It was right when got out of high school and he found out she was pregnant. And this is right before he got, signed. And it was like right when I was born. It was just like, you would think that would have been a blessing within it, but that was when everything just crumbled. The record deal fell through exactly on the same day I was born, which is me and his sister shares the same birthday. And it's just going all through that. And it was just more things I learned about my life, more things I learned about my dad's life, and then it was just like, I was always wondered, my kids even said, Mom, why we get treated differently? And I didn't know that, why, I just always just think it was me, because, how my upbringing is, how I really exposed my kids towards things, I used to be heavily pill popper. I got hit by a drunk driver, died for a few minutes and came back. And a result of that, I was needing hip surgery as well as back surgery. My whole left side was crushed into the door, and the way the car was, you would have thought I would have been permanently dead because that car was like shaped like a U. It was like a Buick. It was 2005. So it was like the new Buicks that just came out. I think it was Buick Regal or something like that. That car is big, but I'm a very small person. I'm only 5'2". So, I was crushed in the car and I died for a few minutes. I died praying, and I seen somebody, saying it's not your time. You got to come back, and I woke up saying God didn't want me. God didn't want me. And it's just like all the things that went on in my life and how I was allowed to mold myself from nothing and reflect the beauty of everything. And it's like you can really look at your life and see how you have really been in a dark place. There's times you probably didn't even want to live anymore because that pain, you carried that way heavy burden of weight on your shoulders. That's the reason why we tend to have severe backaches because we carry the weight of the world of our shoulders. But that allows you to mold your life. you know and it's like I said in the other video, it's all about how you choose to look at your life, how you choose to do it. You can either be inspired by all the F ups you had in your life and mold yourself to be a better person. You can be your own superhero, and that's what it is. Anytime we always looking for somebody to save us, you end up having to look in the reflection in your mirror. Because when you have endured as much as you have endured, and you're still alive to be able to tell somebody what you endured, you don't understand. You're going to be not just your blessing, but you're going to be an example to reflect around so many people, to be able to look at their life and say, you are the beauty of nothing. You aren't, because nothing cannot be labeled as anything, because you're everything. And people don't see it like that. I see when you tell me I ain't gonna be nothing, I say, "Ooh, thank you." You're looking at me like, "What the hell is it? Crazy or something?" I'm like, "No," because it really, that's an actual compliment. That when you talk about stuff like that, because you're molding yourself into what you choose to be. Everybody's going to have their different perception of you. There's going to be people that admire you for your strength and being able to tell people, not just to catch attention. It's like, what I'm doing is like, that's not something to brag about, but this is my life. These are things I've experienced just for being my dad's daughter. you know the things I've had to endure over the power of money, the root to all evil. Okay. And being able to know, I was used for an example, to be able to help others, to let there's reason behind every burden you bear, every pain that you have experienced in life has a powerful purpose behind it. If it did not kill you, it made you stronger. If it didn't break you, it made you harder. you know but it's all about what you decide to do. You have the beauty of molding yourself in everything that you touch into everything that you ever wanted, plus more. It's all about how you see things, all about how you decide to go about it. You can feel sorry for yourself and be the victim of everything. And trust me, I was there, because when I lost my dad, I was just like, that person did this, that person did that. And I can say, yeah, they did do it. But check it. They wanted to break me. They thought this was going to break me, and it damn near did. Well, actually, it did. Let me tell the truth. It did break me, but then it allowed me to pick myself up. Like I said, that song, piece by piece. Even though my dad was not there physically, even though he's tried, we've connected on so many times on when he just came back and forth to see me. It was like 2 days. Well, actually, it was the same day he played at Fox Theater. He was here before he went in the concert. And it was just, hearing him, on the news and stuff like that, singing, where people, snuck some cameras in and stuff like that. And then hearing him from like 3 or 4 days afterwards, 'cause I thought it was like probably about 2 days, but it was like a few days afterwards. 'Cause I think it was like the 17th or the 18th that I talked to him. And it sounded like something like night and day. I didn't know who it was, but it was just that energy was like, oh my God, they don't sound like they got long. And it was just like, that hit me in the gut, but it was a blessing in the same pain that I got to talk to him. That was kind of like his goodbye. And he always say, don't you ever tell me goodbye. It's just a simple hello. It's just a transition of a hello. And anytime you have loved somebody that you have lost, it's not a loss. actually is a gain of something very big and very powerful for you. They, even though they have transitioned, they're still there. It's just there's something a lot bigger, and they end up protecting you along the way. There's a lot of things that has made intercepted, it could have been very dangerous for you. But, universe, your spirit guides, your past loved ones, they're all intercepted to make sure that these things didn't happen. And at times it feels like you're living your own nightmare that you can't wake up from. Anytime you have lost a loved one, whether it was a mother or a father, that's something that hits deep. It can really break you. But then to know how family has mocked you for it, as well as poke fun at it, that right there, and then on top of that, it's just like, I still don't know. I don't have closure, and that's something that, I always looked at my family and I'm like, that's not even family. That reflected a lot of darkness, a lot of evil. And for him to be a preacher and a preacher's wife, that's why I always say I don't deal with people like that. There's people that actually respect the, God's word, wants to, preach the good word of the book. That's fine. I respect all that. But the ones that sit up here and try to, preach God's word and then shaking hands with the damn devil, I say, look, you got to pick something. You can't be both. You can't sit up here and bless two houses. The devil's house and God's house. People sitting up here, praying and all that stuff. And the next thing you know, you're doing hellish stuff to people because you get off on that. And then thinking because you pray, that's going to save you. God goes straight mute on your ass, okay? When you do stuff like that. Because I say I don't even go to church. But it's like, I don't sit up here and say I'm religious. I'm very, spiritual. I believe in, higher power. I do believe in all God's glory and his joy and the love he gives to you and the path that he leads you on. I believe in all that. But I'm not a religious person. I see what some folks that hide behind that, you know, hide behind God's word and how they sit up here and preach, hellish things to folks. I'm like, I hope that. It's like, where the hell are you leading them to? I'm like, what you mean? Exactly like I said, where the hell are you leading them to? Okay. But when you go through all the things you go through, you can look at how you want your life, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to manifest, and you have to allow yourself to speak upon that. And you have to have that power. You don't know how you're going to get it, but if you know it's going to make an impact in your life in a big way, and not as just like a monetary value or something, but it has to be something that that is going to make a big impact, not just in your life, but many to follow. Universe is already, that was already written for you to do anyway, but you had to experience some daggone setbacks, falling on your face, bad mistakes, bad choices, you know. And then when you have to reflect that, I've seen so many people go through some very bad things in their life, and I don't pass judgment. We all on our roads to recovery and life lessons, and I had a bad habit of judging people. Like, girl, you stupid as hell. Or, when we see, celebrities do stuff and it's like, they go through the same thing we do. But the most sad thing about it is like theirs is televised. So it's not like you're dealing with this. It's like you're dealing with this and everybody and their mama judging you for it. And that's why I look at my situation. I feel myself of strength because I decided, well, actually, God decided, and they meant to send me this way to start making videos about the things that I went through. I've had to deal with people mocking me. I've had people in family that brought people to me and just said I was lying about stuff. And it was like, you already knew I was family. There's a whole bunch of receipts on that. But when you were jealous about something, you wanted people to discredit me because you feared my strength. Even though we both went through the same thing, except mine is a lot worse, but it's just all about how you choose to look at it. I can look at this and make it like a victim thing, which I'm not going to do. I had to allow myself to say, even though these things has really happened in my life and it broke me down in so many different ways, but this, with the connection with my dad, spiritually, as well as my mom that passed, my two best friends that I lost right after I got here, all of them been protecting me. All of them been sending me different messages, sending me on different directions, helping all these different people in life. Being able, and I don't want anything out of that. I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to gain from all this either, except being able to know that my life can be used to be able to help others reflect on their life. What you trying to get out of it? What are you trying to do in life? I've seen people do Same thing I do. They were like very bad on addicted to crack or meth or something, very dangerous things. And they turned their whole life around. It took them to have to go to jail. It took them to almost see death a couple of times. And they had to experience that in life. And when you know you can do a big 360 about 10 or 12 times, and you don't even look like the same person that went through stuff, that's how you can tell prayers are being answered. Because when God uses you as that tool, you can, if you show proof in everything you see, like I'm doing videos since like almost close to 3 years back. You can see I'm totally different from that person until I am now. Because I would be, you can tell I was emaciated, I was losing weight, hell, I lost a lot of my hair, you know um and I went through a lot of things in life. Even though I still haven't got that closure I truly needed, I already know if it's meant for me, it's gonna happen, regardless of how many people done blocked me from trying to go through that. And it really felt like life wasn't fair, because when people finally seen that it was true, they tried everything in their mama to try to block me from getting that, because all they saw was monetary value. It's not about that. It was about a man that made something in his life and wanted to have interaction with his child, that y'all denied him of that. And he played by his part, and they still denied him of that, did everything they could just to block that. you know so it's just like all these different things that I've endured in life. Everything I used it as an experience of a blessing, to be able to help people see you have that power to change your life. You have that power to manifest something that nobody can ever take away. People try to take away your pride. People try to steal you of your love, of your mind. All these different things, they try to break you, because that's all they see about themselves. So they don't want to see you do better. There's always, you always got them supportive haters. Those fans that are in denial. They be like, oh, those are haters. That's no, baby, those fans in denial. Because I bet they be going up on your social page just to see if any statuses doesn't change, to make like, oh, hell no. Let's go ahead and pray on them to make sure their life don't get any better. I got people do that now. And I'm like, you really think I'm about to put something in my videos, put something on social media so your ass can go back and block it? Hell to the no. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, but real G's move in silence. You manifest and you do your thing. Hell, if I do it, it's like right on a split second. I'll try to make sure my energy ain't like that, where people can play on that. I've had different people do that. And I'm like, damn, why can't you do that just to go ahead and heal yourself, so you can go ahead and make something of yourself too? Because I said I don't hate on nobody. So I feel like we all can win one way or another. I always tell people, Roslyn, I want to go ahead and do this. I want to go ahead and do that. And I say, you know what? Go ahead and do that. Because I'm a very supportive person. I was just like, if I can send you some energy to go ahead and do that, I want you to be able to do that and experience that best in life and send you blessings. Even when I see you winning, I want to see you win. Some people are like, mm-hmm. And as soon as you walk away, be giving you the side eye and be saying all type of hateful stuff, because they don't sit up here and they don't want to see you do good. I had people that I know I blocked out of my life that called themselves friends and family and came all the way back. Oh, hey, girl. Hey, bye. I ain't got nothing to say. I really don't have nothing to say, because when you come into somebody's life and you see they unblocked you out, you just want to come back just to make sure you can throw some dirt on them, because you see your life is the way it is. And when you come bragging about some stuff, it'd be different when you're celebrating your happiness. But when you're rubbing it in somebody's face because you feel like, oh, I got mine before you got yours, just because the way you looked at that situation and how you try to rub that in somebody's face, you doomed from the womb when you did that. You done messed up your whole blessing just because the way you did that. So it's just like, I'm always at this point in time right now, when we're going through all these things right now, is what you push out is what you're going to get back. Everything is an echo to you. World is how you see it. Like, I got another video I'm about to use. That world is how you see it. I see it as transformation. I feel it as elevating, and you're forming it to something that is going to be for the greater good of you. This is the reason why we had to go through that lockdown. You have to spend more time with your family. I'm trying to sit up here and say, get off your phone, stay off that damn social media, connect with your family in a different way. This is that time when you have been in here comparing your life to other people's social media. Ain't everything what it is on people's social media. Sometimes they doing the most, they going through the life issues as well. But sometimes people want to go ahead and post up things to make it seem like their life is different. You can't always judge your life to somebody else's social media status. All these different things are taking that time where, people are like, oh my God, I want to see my friends. This is that time to work on you. Them friends gonna still be there. If they're your friends, they'll be there when you get finished doing what you're doing. That's the reason why everything is locked down for you, because this is making you reflect. This is making you heal where that healing needs to take place. Letting go of different toxic people, stop toxic energy, letting go of, how you see yourself and how you reflect yourself towards others. If there's people hating on you, pray for those folks. When they're being hateful for you, pray for those folks. But don't allow them to take you away from what you're trying to get to, because that's their whole purpose on doing it. Is just to make sure they can distract you from what that is coming towards you. Because like I always say, sometimes folks, they're very hateful and they see good things coming for you, and they try to break down things that are good. They'll see your blessings before you do, so they try to go ahead and stop that. Because it's like, when I'm looking at my situation right now, all my enemies are they good friends. They always say that your enemy of your enemy is your friends. Because I already know, I already see our peep game upside, sideways, towards the front, indirectly, upside down, crisscross, side to side. I already see it. I just don't say nothing. I just say, Lord, just keep protecting me and cover me in your blood. Do whatever you need to do. I'm going to keep pushing. Allow myself to be grateful every day of what is taking place. Grateful for everything that I've learned from when it comes to my past mistakes and all my achievement. Being proud because I know I'm about to do more. Being able to have faith in myself to keep going no matter what's taking place around me. Allowing the chaos around me is not going to stop me. This is going to be that time you can do that inner groundwork for yourself. So anytime somebody tell you that you're nothing, that gives you the chance to reflect the beauty of everything. You're already a beautiful person. Even though you may be that wounded warrior, that's all right. You just, when you got that little crown or that, that sword or whatever, you go ahead and hold that and Afro fairy at the same time. Much love to y'all. And I will talk in my next video. Like and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share, drop a line. I would love a chance to give you a post notification shout out. Share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, if you want to get in touch with me privately, feel comfortable with talking about here, I understand. You can find me on Facebook Messenger. I'm not accepting any friend requests, but I'm staying connected with others on the Messenger part. I'll answer your questions the best way I can. If I can't answer it, I will send you towards whatever you need, to send you to where you need the answers answered. And I will see you on my next video. Stay safe. You this must if you can stay home, stay home. Keep working on you. Know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved. And knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And I pray for your love and comfort and whatever your needs are right now. I send that vibe for it to be met. And whatever you're trying to master fate. You trying to manifest, I hope it comes 1,000 times more than what you expected, and it comes sooner than you expected. Make sure you give out love, light, prosperity, prosperity, positivity, towards others. You never know, those things could really take us a long way. Much love to y'all. I'll see y'all on my next video. Much love to you. Peace. Be wild.